Hello and a very warm welcome back to another weekly vlog, but this time with a little bit of a difference as we're going to be taking a look at my collection of Paws silver pieces for the ongoing Stackers Showdown. But I'm going to get into that in more detail a little bit later as per usual we're going to start off by taking a quick look at the new releases from the Royal Mint and a couple of pickups I've been able to grab this week. So we'll start off by taking a quick look at the pickups from the Royal Mint, and Stephen with the Freeze for the Ease. I know you're going to love this one because it's another new release 50p. This time it's the Team GB and Paralympics GB 2024 50p coin. It's been released in standard brilliant uncirculated, coloured brilliant uncirculated, and also in silver proof. It shows the standard Martin Jennings obverse of King Charles III with him looking to the left and with a legend around that reads Charles III, by grace of God, King, Defender of the Faith, 50p 2024. And just below the neckline of King Charles you can see an MJ, which is the initials of the artist Martin Jennings. The reverse has been designed by artist Charis Tsvevis and shows a mosaic artwork representing both Team GB and Paralympics GB. The standard brilliant uncirculated coin will set you back £12 plus postage and is minted to order. That means there's no limit on the mintage. They will keep minting it as long as people keep buying it. The coloured brilliant uncirculated has been minted to a limit of 12,500 and you're able to pick that up for £21 plus VAT. The silver proof has the limited minted of only 5,000 pieces and will fetch you back £75 plus postage. I think it's a very nice coin. I wasn't initially sure of the design when I first saw it, purely because it's very blocky. It's been done in a kind of diamond-esque kind of design, but looking at it and certainly looking at the colour version of the coin, I really do think it looks great, and the colours of Union Jack really do help the Olympians pop out of the design. I've ordered myself the standard and colorized brilliant uncirculated coins. They've not arrived as of yet, but I'm hoping to be able to show them to you on next week's vlog. Okay, so moving on, we'll go on to the pickups, and I do have a couple of items I picked up this week. The first of which is the 2020 Royal Arms 1 ounce bullion coin. Now you may remember from last week's vlog that I was able to pick up the most recent 2024. Now as you can see at the back, I do have the 2019, the 2022, the 2023 and the 2024. So with me now picking up the 2020, it only leaves me with the 2021 left to collect, and then I've got the full back set of the Royal Arms coins, as I do believe they were introduced back in 2019. The reverse has been designed by Timothy Node and shows the royal coat of arms with the Order of the Garter around it in a leather belt garter. It has the date of 2020 at the top, and the national emblems being the Lion of England and Unicorn of Scotland either side of the four-crowned quartered shield, showing the national emblems of the Three Lions of England, Rampant Lion of Scotland and Harp of Ireland. At the bottom you have the details of 1 ounce fine silver 999, and the design is set upon a background of radial lines. On the obverse of the coin we have the Jodie Clark depiction of Queen Elizabeth II, which was the fifth and final depiction of Queen Elizabeth to be used on British coinage. She's facing to the right and is wearing the George IV state diadem in her hair. The legend around the coin reads Elizabeth II DG Reg FD £2, which of course is abbreviated Latin and would translate to Elizabeth II, by grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith, £2. Once again, just below the truncation of Queen Elizabeth's neck, we have the initials of the artist JC for Jodie Clark. We have another radial background on this one, but it's comprised of lots of little dots which make quite a nice pattern. These are a great coin. I'm a big fan of the design, and that's the reason why I've decided to backdate these. It doesn't go back too far, as they were started in 2019, so there's not too much backstacking to do. It's not like the Kookaburra series or anything like that. So as I say, I've only got the 2021 left to pick up now, so hopefully, fingers crossed, I should be able to grab that within the next few weeks, and we'll get that added to the back with the other pieces there. Okay, so that just leaves me with one other new pickup this week. It's a coin that I've shown on the channel quite recently, as it's a fairly new release from the Royal Mint, and that is the latest 6 decades of 007 Bonds of the 2000s. And as we can see right here on the reverse of this one, we have James Bond sat in a hovercraft with a montage of all the different films of James Bond from the 2000s in the background. It's very reminiscent to the other coins with the border around it, showing somewhat of a gun barrel kind of detail on there. And of course, like the other coins in the series, they do all have the standard Martin Jennings depiction of King Charles on the obverse. It's a very nice series. I think this is the penultimate coin in the series. I believe there's one more, there may be two more, but I do believe it is only one more now to be released in the Brilliant Uncirculated before we've finished the series. However, on the bullion side of things, as you may recall from the previous video, we've now just seen the release of the second coin, which is the Bond of the 70s. So as you can see, the bullion does have a little bit of catching up to do with the Brilliant Uncirculated, but it's great to have this for the collection. And as I said earlier, I'm a big fan of this series. I think we've done some fantastic designs. I used to really enjoy the James Bond films when I was growing up, so it's a really fun series that I've really enjoyed collecting. But as I say, that's my second pickup of the week, the James Bond of the 2000s coin. Okay, so that just leads us on to my entry for poured silver in the Stackers Showdown Challenge. Now, if you weren't aware of this, this was a brainchild of mine and Bits and Bobs when I had Ethan from Bits and Bobs over on a stack chat a few weeks ago. We decided to do a little bit of a fun competition, and it is meant to just be a little bit of fun, where we do a few videos and invite other people to join us, where we'd show off our collections and have people in the Stackers social Discord server vote for who they felt has the best collection. I have absolutely no misconceptions of winning this category, poured silver. I'm not massively a poured silver guy. There are some very nice items of poured silver out there, but I am more of a coin and minted bar guy when it comes down to it. However, through the generosity of the community, I have acquired myself some absolutely beautiful and fantastic pieces of poured silver, which I'm more than happy to share with you all today. The first piece I ever received, and this was my first ever mail call as well, so it seems like so long ago now, but this was from 365 Days of Silver, and this is his custom channel bar that he had done by Backyard Bullion. I think he may have been one of the first people to ever do this. Now, I've certainly never seen any other channel bars created like this prior to 365, so I'm not sure if he was the first one to ever come up with this idea or not. But I received this when I think I'd made somewhere between 10 and 15 videos, and 365 was enjoying what I was doing, and he was so kind to send this out to me. But that was the first ever piece of poured silver that I ever received, which is a 1 gram 365 Days of Silver Backyard Bullion custom bar. I've also received a few others from members of the community. I have the APM bar right here, that's the 1 gram APM bar, but I also was lucky enough to receive the 10 gram version of the APM custom bar as well. As you can see right there, it says addicted to precious metals, 10 gram 999 fine silver. As well as that, I have a couple of my own. Now these are keepsakes that I've popped in my memory box, but as you can see, I have the first ever TSC 1 gram custom channel bar from Backyard Bullion. Now these are the ones that I give away every Saturday, but this one is the one that I kept for myself in my memories drawer, and it's just, as I say, a little momentum, but I do have that in my little collection of poured silver. Now, you won't know this, but when I was originally speaking with Backyard Bullion, there was a couple of ideas of the style of bar that I was going to have done, and the one you've just seen right here, that is the final design that we came up with. But this is one of the early designs, and it's the landscape bar with the writing a little bit higher, a little bit larger. I really do like this bar, but I do prefer the design of the other one. But this was a prototype for this design, and I was able to keep this. So once again, that is in my little collection of 1 gram hand poured bars. So I'm just going to pop them back right there. Next up, I have a couple of pieces. Now, I'm not sure if these really should be included, but they are poured pieces. We have the 1 ounce Germanium Mint poured bar right there, and we also have the Australian donut right here as well. As well as that, and very similar to the custom channel bars that we've just had a look at, I have 1 troy ounce of Backyard Bullion bartering chips. Now these are exactly the same as the custom bars, except for they're not custom designs. They are the standard design that Backyard Bullion does when he makes these, and as you can see, they just say 1 gram 999 fine silver on there, and you've got the Backyard Bullion leaf logo on the back. As I say, there's just over 1 troy ounce worth of fine silver in that little chest right there. And moving on, we have an absolutely stunning piece that I was sent as a gift by my very good friend Cranky Stacker over in the United States. You may be aware of this guy, Silver Dragons Bullion. He's got a very large channel on YouTube. It's one of the channels that I really started off watching back in the early days. And I've always been quite a big fan of Silver Dragons, but to have one of his pieces and to have it gifted by my good friend Cranky is just absolutely incredible. But right here we have the certificate of authenticity. As you can see, it says Silver Dragons Bullion, poured art, certificate of authenticity, 2.3 troy ounces, 999 fine silver skull. It's a brilliant design and one that I really do like, and as I say, Cranky, it was incredibly generous of you to send this across, so thank you so very much for that. Next up we have a couple of pieces from Silver Angel Paws, and I wasn't sure whether to include these or not, but it does say on this certificate these are hand poured fine silver pieces. So I think what's happened is they've poured the rounds themselves. Whoops, slipped out my hand there. They've poured the rounds themselves, but I do think these have been laser engraved because the detail on them are just a little bit too fine for it to be poured into a mould, I do believe. But I do believe the rounds are hand poured. They certainly look that way anyway. They do look like a poured piece rather than a minted coin. And I have 2 of these, one of which is the precious addicted to precious metals one, which you can see right here. But we also have, and this was the first one I ever received, is the Cobra Stacker channel round that he had made up last year back in 2023. They're both absolutely stunning pieces, which I feel extremely lucky to have in my collection. It was absolutely wonderful for each of you to send those across, and I genuinely cannot thank you enough. Moving across next, we have another item that I've been sent. This one was a very special piece as well, because I managed to get this one for being a member of the 365 Days of Silver Members Club for a whole year, and I do believe I was the first person to achieve this. I think he had 3 of these made for the first 3 people that were able to get 1 full year's worth of membership. But as I say, I was the first one at the time, and these come with another little certificate of authenticity, which is absolutely awesome, because this COA is actually made of a magnet. But right here we can see we've got the 365 Club 1 year bar minted to 1 troy ounce of pure 999 silver. It's a lovely piece, and again, I really feel lucky to have that, because it was kind of out of the blue. 365, it doesn't tell anyone when he does these things, he just does them and surprises people with them, which is one of the things I really love about him, I really do. But moving on to make things as quick as possible, the next one right here is another channel round, and this one is from Stephen with the Freeze for These, and I think these channel rounds are absolutely brilliant. These were produced by Pit Bullion. He's another guy who's joined me on a stack chat in the past. I had a great time, and we had a lot of fun looking at his pieces on his website, and he really does have some absolutely stunning pieces. If you've not checked out Pit Bullion's website as of yet, I highly recommend you do so, and I will try to remember to put a link to his website in the description of this video. In fact, what I'll do is, if I'm able to do so, I'll put a link to all the pourers that I've got pieces of here, including Pit Bullion, this guy right here who is Liquid Metals, and you probably need no introduction. Speaking of which, Liquid Metals has just designed a Stacker's Social 1 ounce piece, which is absolutely stunning, and I've just put my name down on the pre-order list to get one for myself. If you haven't seen them as of yet already, I highly recommend heading over to Stacker's Social and finding the Liquid Metals channel. He's got pictures of them on the channel, and they really do look absolutely incredible. He's selling them for the low price of £32 plus postage. I think that's an absolute steal, so I've definitely got my name down for one. But if you're interested in receiving your very own Stackers Social 1 ounce piece, then please head over to the Stackers Social Discord server and let Liquid Metals know, because as I say, he's currently taking pre-orders, and once he's minted these, they will be minted to order and he won't be minting anymore afterwards. So I highly recommend that you get over there and put your name down for one if you want. However, that being the case, we'll take a look at this one right here, which is the Liquid Metals 1 ounce Dragon Round, and I do believe this was sent to me by Addicted to Precious Metals for my 40th birthday. It was insanely kind of him to send this across, and I absolutely love it. I'm sure it'll come as no surprise, but I'm a huge fan of dragons, so to get my very own Liquid Metals Dragon Round is absolutely incredible. But yeah, that's another lovely piece of poured silver right there I have in the collection. And next up, you may say that I've saved best till last, because we've got a couple of pieces from the absolutely incredible Silverpunk Paws. This was the first one he sent to me. This was a gift for my 40th birthday, and as you can see from the certificate of authenticity, it's the base simulation disc where they keep all the information for the simulation. And so if you've ever been a victim to a Mandela effect, it's because I've loaded the floppy disk up and changed a few of the details on the simulation. But it was a lot of fun. The letter that Silverpunk sent across really did have me in stitches when I was reading it. But we'll look at the details here. You can see it's 1.91 troy ounces of 999 fine silver. There's no serial number, and it was produced in 2024 with a mintage of 1 of 1, and I feel so blessed to be able to have this in my collection. I can remember when I first saw Silverpunk's video of this, I really did love it, because I've said before, it's really nostalgic for me because it takes me back to college. When I first started college, we were using floppy disks to save all our information. By the time I left college, flash drives had come out and we'd all started using those, but on my first couple of years at college, that wasn't the option, and the best option you had was to use a floppy disk, which meant you constantly ran the risk of all your information going corrupted on the file. You'd spend a week doing your coursework, put the floppy disk in, and all that work would be gone. It was the worst thing ever, but yeah, it's still very, very nostalgic and brings back very fond memories of being at college. But that right there is the almost 2 ounce base simulation floppy disk. Now this one right here, I really do think is my favorite, because it just really touched me, this one right here. And it was a collaboration between 365 Days of Silver, Cyber Soundman, and Silverpunk, who all came together and produced this amazing custom poured bar to celebrate my reaching 1,000 subscribers. And as you can see right there, it says the Stack Collector 1000, and I genuinely had no idea they were doing this. They kept it so quiet and kept it so secret. I can only take my hats off to them. But if we look at the details right here, we can see, as I say, it's another 1.91 troy ounce of 999 fine silver. Serial number is 1000 subs. The year is 2024, and it is another 1 of 1. So to have a couple of unique individual Silverpunk pieces really is absolutely incredible. I love the toning that he's put on this one, the kind of rainbow toning that he's done. This one right here came in the case that it's currently in. This one didn't, but I keep dropping all my stuff today, unfortunately. Let me just put that back 1 second. There we go. Okay, yeah, this one didn't, but I did have a couple of these spare, and I like the way that one looks so very much that I thought, you know what, I'd do the same with this one, and I really do think it looks absolutely great in that little display case right there. But that being the case, that is my collection of hand-poured silver. And again, I just want to say a massive, massive thank you to every single person who sent me something across. It really does touch me, and you know, as I say, if it wasn't for that, my poured collection would be so small. It generally is just on the back of the generosity of people in the community. So once again, thank you very much for enabling me to take part in this category of the competition. Again, I have no misconceptions about winning this one. There's going to be a couple of categories I feel a bit stronger with, and who knows, I may even take one home myself, but I really don't think it's going to be the Paws Silver. I've seen some fantastic collections put together by different people up to yet. I've been trying to share the videos on my channel when I've been able to do so, but if you've missed any, go over to the Stackers Social Discord. There's a channel set up for Stackers Showdown. You can either enter your own, you don't have to be a creator to join in. If you do want to make your own video, you may struggle uploading it to Discord, and if that's the case, just contact either myself or Bits and Bobs, and we'll be more than happy to show your video on our channels just so you can take part and people can see your collections. This category of the competition is going to stay open for just a little bit longer, I think, but then we're going to be moving on to the voting and find a winner of the best Paws Silver collection. As I said, if you want to take part, then now is your chance. Get on over to Stackers Social and join in and be part of the fun. But that's about all I've got time for today. I know it's probably gone on a little bit with going through all the Paws pieces of silver, so I'm going to take this moment to say I've probably rabbled on for long enough now. So I am going to leave you all by saying, until next time, as usual, look after each other, keep stacking, take care, and goodbye.